In this video, I will share how you as a personal trainer can create a client dashboard for your clients in Notion, everything done natively, where the client can access the dashboard in one single place and see only their relevant data and nothing else in there. You will find the template in the description of this video. This use case applies to any other type of application that you have where you want to share partial data from Notion data sources as opposed to the entire data source. In this example, I am a personal trainer wanting to share personal dashboards with my clients. My client is Jack Robinson. So I'm going to open his page. I apply the template and I can see this shows all the programs for Jack and all the training sessions related to Jack, as well as the invoices. So right now, the only person that can access this dashboard is me, the personal trainer. So I can set up everything, the program, the sessions, invoices, etc. Open the pages, see what's inside, apply templates. And once I want to share access with Jack on this dashboard, then I will invite him as a user right here on the dashboard page. I can set full access, can edit, can comment, can view. For my use case, I'm going to select can edit and I will invite this user as a guest. That means it is free and only applicable to this page and all the related pages here. As the personal trainer, I'm going to go here on the user and select the new user. So I can see Jack Robinson is associated with Testimo, that's the user in Notion. When I set this user, then all the access will cascade down and that user will be able to see all his programs, sessions, invoices over time. As Jack, I receive this email invite where I can directly accept the invite and be redirected to my dashboard in Notion. Once I accept the invitation as Jack, I can only see my dashboard here as a guest in the personal trainer workspace. When I scroll down, I will see my program. I can open the program. I can only view it though, can't edit it. That's just a choice that I made as a personal trainer. I can see all the sessions within that program with all the dates. When I scroll down, I will see all my sessions. I can easily open any session to see details on the dates. I can also set reminders or turn them off. I can check off a session right there and see all the exercises within that session sorted properly. If I open the session page, I would see more info here. Couple size. There is the execution video automatically populated from movement page. And then I can always go back to my dashboard here. And same for invoices. I can view invoices right here. Page level access rules are only available on the business and enterprise plan in Notion. Here is the personal trainer OS. There is a database that contains all the data sources or tables that power up the system. The training movements data source is separate because this is shared to the web so that your clients can access this data without using the page level access rules, but just as a public page that's available with all the guides right here. On the PT database, there are all the tables right here. Page level rules work with the user type properties. That's why, for example, we have a user property on the client's data source so that when we set the user here, this cascades down to give access to that user to all the related invoices, training programs, training sessions, and exercise trackings. So, for example, let's look at training programs. And when I go to the share menu, you will see there is a page level access for this data source. Here I can switch. This is training programs. Anyone in a user can comment, although I can change this to can edit or can view if I wish. The user property is a person type property where the notifications are silenced and there is an automation that populates that property. Set user based on client. So when a client is edited on a training program, that means the client was selected. So we replace the user with the clients.map current.user. This means we get the user from the client related to the program that triggers this automation. The same logic is used across sessions, invoices, and exercise trackings. That is why it is important, just like I showed you in the example, to set the user here. If there are any issues with access, you can always go to the user page and make sure that the user property, which you can find right here, is populated with that user, because this is the property that drives page level access. Therefore, if there are any issues, you can just come here, remove this, and then re-add that user. And this will ensure that the user has access to their page. On the client's data source, there is also an automation that ensures that when you add the user, this property cascades down to all the related data sources. If I go to the automation here, it's called linked user. It's called link user. And when the user is edited, then I define variables so that I can edit pages from those variables. The first variable is invoices. These are all the invoices related to that client. So trigger page dot invoices as a formula. Similarly, I define all the programs related to that client. Trigger page, which is the client page, dot training programs, which is the relation property that defines all the programs for that client. Same thing for sessions. Here, the formula has an additional layer. So we get the client's training programs first, and then from there, we map the sessions for that program, because sessions and client are not directly related. Sessions are related to programs, which in turn are related to clients. So there is a second order relationship between these two, and that's why we can get all these sessions right here via this formula. We also get the exercise logs similarly by using map multiple times in this case, because exercise logs are 3 layers down the hierarchy of the system. Each tracking is linked to a session, which in turn is linked to a program. Programs are then accessible directly from the client page that triggers this automation. Once these variables are defined, I then edit each of them. Each of them contains pages, and so in here I use an edit page action, selecting each variable from the options here, from the drop-down menu. And then I populate the user property on each of these data sources by adding the trigger page dot user. That means the user from the client page. And that's what the automation does. So in practical terms, when I select a user right here, like I did in here, then this user gets populated in all the programs, sessions, trackings, and invoices that are related to it. This ensures that the page level access rules then work as needed, because once we set the user, then the page level access is triggered or opens up access to that page where the user is defined with the specific access type. When you need to remove a client or a user from your Notion workspace, you can go to settings, members, guests, and in here you can remove guest. And this will automatically remove access from all the pages shared with that user. As a personal trainer, you can overview all the data in your internal dashboard. So in here you can see today's sessions. You can mark them as done, open the page. All the active programs are going to be here. This is the percentage progress across the sessions for that program. And all the invoices due are here as well. You can use all of these components or just some of them as needed. You can visualize active clients right here. There are also buttons to quickly create a client, an invoice, or a program. And then down here, there's a calendar of all the sessions, which you can also drag and drop around to change days. You can mark them as done. And when you open them, you can easily interact with your client on the session page via the comments, because now your client is a user in Notion, which means I can easily tag that user and send a notification to him. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching. You can find the link to the template in the description together with other relevant resources. If you wish to work together, please contact me via the form below. See you in the next one.